I'm ready.
Do you think you're going to be the controversial one, or you think you're going to go the routes where most people agree with your opinion?
I don't know. We'll see where the spirit leads, but I'll try to be nice, you know.
Exactly. We'll see where the spirit leads. Finally, I have Ohene Kakari joining me. Ohene, can you hear me? Ohene? Okay, I think I'd have to check in with Ohene later to see if he was able to join us. But we'll take a look at our story. Remember, it's an interesting one. Remember, we are live on... I think Ohene is back. Hi, Ohene. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
I am so glad you're able to join us finally.
My pleasure.
How are you doing?
Very well by the grace of God. I hope you are doing well too.
I am doing fantastic. Are you ready for the discussion?
I'm very much ready.
Okay. Ohene is the only guy in the studio or on today's show. I hope the girls do not just get on his nerves or try to just corner him. I hope you're all able to have a fantastic discussion, and hopefully at the end of the day, like we always do, find some sort of tips, some sort of advice for people who find themselves in such a situation. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. So please tell a friend to tell a friend and stream live with us. You can also join the conversation by leaving your comments under our comment section, and I'll make sure I read some of them as the discussion goes on. I have to let you take a look at our story, pay attention to it, tell me what you think, leave your comments under the comment section, and let's have a good discussion. This is Real Talk. My name is always Evie. We'll be right back.
Dear Real Talk, there is this assumption and notion that a guy must pay for his girlfriend's friends' food or drinks when they hang out, and I think this is totally ridiculous. Here's my story. So I told my girlfriend I would be taking her out to dinner, so she should get ready. She called her friends and told them the good news. In excitement, and told them where I would be taking her, which they thought was fancy, and asked her to take pictures when she gets there. All this was not known to me at the time, so I picked her up and we went to the restaurant. We got our drinks as we waited for our foods. A few minutes later, she had a phone call from one of her friends. I heard her telling her friend that she was at the restaurant. I heard her say, "Really? Then you can come around." After the call, she tells me, "Oh, Kriya said she's just around the corner with Amma, so they would pass by." These ladies pull up chairs immediately they get there, start talking and start flipping through the menu. They make their orders including desserts, and we all eat. After the food, I asked for the bill. After looking through, I told the waiter to separate the bill because ours is different from theirs. Evie, you could hear a pin drop. Dead silence. So the waiter did, and I paid for myself and my girlfriend. I heard them whisper to my girlfriend that they did not have money and could not pay, so could I pay for them? I told them bluntly that I did not have money to pay for them, and what did they expect when they were ordering the food? Finally, they called people to send them Momo and they paid. Can you imagine my girlfriend is upset with me because she says I embarrassed her and refuses to talk to me? I don't think I have done anything wrong here and do not know why I have to apologize. Is it my duty to pay for their food? And who even invited them in the first place? Was I wrong?
Welcome back. I am sure you enjoyed the story. I told you it was a good one. So we'll just go right into the discussion. Remember, this is Real Talk on Hope TV. You can still join us live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. Join the conversation by leaving your comments under the comment section, and I'll make sure I read a few as the discussion progresses. Jennifer, let me start with you. What is your general take on this story? But have you heard things like this before from your girlfriends? Have you experienced it before? Your general take on the story.
Okay, so my general take would be that it's totally absurd that something like that happened. I've heard so many stories, but thankfully none have been in my circle. We don't roll like that at all. So yeah, I think it's very selfish to to think like that and to even be, and a bit embarrassing to behave like that. And why are you going out without money? Like that was the very first thing that came to my mind. Yeah. Why are you going out without money?
Because anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
You can push it towards the list.
Exactly, and you have to pay 100 Ghana cedis flat rate.
Exactly.
If you don't have money, it's so embarrassing to be at places without any form of cash. So yeah, that story is embarrassing. I'm sorry.
Embarrassing for the girls or for the boyfriend?
For the girls, for our gender. We should stop that, please. It's not a good look at all.
Okay. Jemima, Jennifer thinks that, oh, girls, you're embarrassing us out there. Like, act right. What is going on? What do you think? Do you agree with Jennifer? Or you think, oh, I mean, what is wrong with my friend's boyfriend taking care of the bill for us when we've all eaten and we've had a good time?
That is it.
Right.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you hear my question?
No, can you ask again?
Okay, so I was saying that Jennifer says she doesn't agree with the girl's behavior. She feels girls out there are just embarrassing us. We are trying to act that we should be treated equally, and you're out there asking a guy to pay for your meal. But do you agree with her, or you think there's nothing wrong with your friend's boyfriend taking care of the bill when you guys have all hung out and had a good time?
I think there's everything wrong with that. I mean, it's so absurd, as she said. Who does that? I mean, no, it's not right. No. Take care of yourself. And for me, by the end of reading the story, the only thing I took from the story was the girl doesn't really love the guy. You don't like him. Because first of all, a guy, your boyfriend invites you on a date. Why would you even tell your friend? Why should they be around? Why? It's just your time with your man. Why are they there? So the fact that she even entertained them, it means she doesn't like him and she's just there to enjoy the moment, you know? Probably he gets to take her to nice places, which is sad and annoying, actually.
So in your opinion, when is it ever okay for ladies to expect
when you all plan to do that and he chooses of you guys, that's fine. So, but then if it's you're in a relationship and you're going out with your man, first of all, why should your friends show up? What are they doing there?
Oh, they said they were in the corner. They were just passing by to say hi.
No, so keep passing by. Go to the next table. You'll sort yourself out. Like I'm here with my man. No. If you really like the guy, that's my point. If you really like the guy. If you don't, then that's when you try to extort like what she did, which is just wrong.
So before I get to the only guy, I'll talk to Grace Love. Please tell me you have a different opinion. What do you take? What's your take on the story? Must a guy pay for his girlfriend's friends when they hang out and they buy food and they add desserts and all that? Must he take care of the bill for everyone at the table?
I mean, unfortunately, I agree with everybody. Must is a very strong word to say he must take care of the bill. I mean, as I was reading the story, I'm like, that's not your brother. Your brother must take care of the bills when he goes out with you. And even that, some brothers don't do it. So I do not think that it was necessary for him to foot the bill for that food. If you're going to eat, get your own money, go eat. How can you, I mean, and for the girlfriend, I don't know what her sense of intimacy is, but dates are supposed to, you know, create moments and bonding, and then you're gonna, I don't, just no.
Okay, so let's go back into the story. Remember, she said she called the friends to tell them that, oh, my guy is taking me here. It's a fancy restaurant. I'm excited. Do you think she should have just kept that information to herself? Or there was nothing wrong sharing her seemingly good news? And I think even though she didn't invite them, the friends felt like, oh, if it's a fancy restaurant and they are taking you, you might as well enjoy. Do you think it's wrong for girls to reveal too much information with regards to what they do with their men?
I think it's wrong, and depending on the friend and the kind of relationship you have with the person will determine how much information you can disclose. If that person is trustworthy, if that person is into these kind of things, helping on being a third wheel, I don't think that it's supposed to be a problem, because naturally as human beings, when you get good news, you're excited. You want to share with people you love, people who are close
Right.
to you. That's understandable. But I think you have to know the kind of people you share that kind of information with, especially knowing that they're capable of doing, things like this. There's I don't know, birds of the same feather flock together, or whatever that thing is. So that means you also have the tendency, if that information was passed to you by their, boyfriend was taking them on a date, that means you would have done the same thing. So yes, there's such a thing as too much information, and it also depends on the person that information is being relayed to.
Okay, great, great. Thank you so much. Now, Ohene, the only guy in the studio, I don't know if you take up for the girl and say, oh, as a man, I will pay for the bills. I mean, it's all about being a man. But what is your general take on the story? And as a guy, would you pay for your girlfriend's friends when they show up at your date and eat and order things and expect you to pay at the end of the day? Would you go ahead and foot the bill? Or you get up like this, a gentleman, and say, please, we didn't come with them, we don't know them, we haven't seen them before, we don't know them. Is that the route you go? Or you feel, okay, let me just take care of it and be the man that society expects me to be? Ohene? No, I don't know if Ohene has left us at the table just like the gentleman in the story, but we cannot hear him at the moment. Hopefully he gets back in. I'll check on him later. But Jennifer, you've heard some guys saying that, oh, as a man, you have to foot the bill. Honestly, you've heard that.
Yeah,
comment.
true. I think there's some guys who would think that, oh, well, it's my girlfriend's friend. I want to show that I can, foot the bill for whenever I have a good time. But I think the story says they had gone on a date and they chose to come.
Right.
It's different if he had been like, come with your girlfriends. Maybe I want to get to know your friends. Let's all sit down and... So it wouldn't be a date. We're all hanging out.
Right.
That's different. Because you were sitting at your place and somebody called you to come and eat.
Exactly.
So yes, obviously he would foot the bill. But then it's a date with your significant other. I don't understand why they should. Why are they passing through? And if you're passing through, pass through by the window, wave, and go.
Don't come and sit
Why
there pulling up chairs and things.
So then that means that you don't even get to have any kind of meaningful conversation
with your girl.
And the guy was probably sitting there checking, wondering how much everything was going to cost. Like, hey, this girl is eating this. She's taking. She drank 2 pineapple juice.
This one is taking pina colada.
Yes, she's also this age. She's ordered something. She's ordered takeaway. Yeah. So, like, it's just going to spoil everything. And the girl, there's something seriously wrong.
Okay, before we get to the girlfriend, though, do you think that this whole men's speech of I'm a man is what is encouraging this behavior in women?
I wouldn't say encouraging that behavior in women. Men are providers. Well, society has tagged men as providers, and I think from the hunter-gatherer's time, all those things have kind of trickled down till now, and that we have spaces that men occupy and spaces that women occupy. Right. Like women are supposed to be natural nurturers, right, and men are supposed to be providers. And it's still
and protectors.
Yes, and protectors. So still, a lot of men have that notion, which isn't bad.
Of course not.
At all. It's not bad at all. But then I think you should also realize when you're being taken for a ride. And you should know when you should provide. Otherwise, when you are walking in time,
you'll be providing for everybody. I hear Ohene is back. Ohene, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great, great. So before you left, I was asking, as the only guy in the show or in the studio, would you say that it's a man's duty to take care of his girlfriend and his friend? Or in this case, you say that, I mean, I didn't invite you, so I don't have, it's not my responsibility to take care of you. But even though it's not your responsibility, do you think that as a man's nature to say, yeah, I didn't invite them, but to show them a man and not to embarrass myself, let me just foot the bill? Do you think that is the general route or way a man will go about this situation? And not be like this, I just, someone that just said, okay, please, this is not part of our bill.
I will take it from the understanding.
Okay.
Hello. You see, individuals have their own ways of understanding and appreciating happenings. It could be that someone with a very low level of self-esteem may assume that I may embarrass myself if I don't follow the bidding of the ladies. But somebody who really knows what he's about will stand up for what he knows is right.
Right.
At the end of the day, I didn't really invite you, and it was a date. Now, men tend to pay when such things happen because we are assumed to invite the ladies out. So if there's a girl in her house and you call her out, then you must be ready and willing to pay. Now, the mistakes most men also make is they don't choose the venue. So if you want to take a girl out, you should be man enough to determine where you are going, what you are going to be doing, not necessarily what is going to be eating.
Right.
And then, based on your habilitative pocketish power, this word I heard somebody. Based on the ability of your pocket, you choose the venue and activities to be engaged in. But then, if she decides to bring a third person, the assumption is she is now inviting the person out for a date. So then ultimately, the lady who did the invitation, who invited her friends, friend or friends, should be positioned enough for them. It shouldn't necessarily be on you, otherwise you are just going out of your jet, which is not very fair. So as much as I wished the other ladies were going to take the position of, oh, men should be paying, so that I could have taken the stand of men. Fortunately for me, we are towing the same line. Probably somewhere along the line, we may diverge, but for now, I'm for them.
Do you think men would be considered not gentlemen if they do not foot the bill?
The lady at the studio said,
I think Ohene's line is...
That is another perception that brings such unfortunate happenings also. Paying is a nice gesture, not an obligation.
Right.
It definitely wouldn't be a social suicide if your boyfriend doesn't pay for your friend. It should not make you lose boyfriend points. Probably you're trying to evaluate his ability to interact with your friends. But another problem we are probably losing sight of is the fact that it has been accepted. I don't know where that culture comes from.
Right.
That your friends, their assumptions and perceptions about the guy you decide to go out with carry weight. So we have this assumption that if I don't do good to my girlfriend's friend, the friend may influence her to leave me. So I'll even borrow to please her, which is on the wrong side and shouldn't be entertained.
Yeah, and quite immature, if I should say. But Jemima, I think I'll come back to you again, and then I'll ask you obviously, but do you think that, why do you think some women, if I should say before they come from my head, why do you think some women feel entitled to a man's money? Because honestly, let's forget friends, boyfriends, friends. Even just friends hanging out. There are some women that have this tendency of acting like, oh, but pay for me.
But pay for me.
Even amongst friends, like they never tell their girlfriend to pay for them. But the only guy in the mix, they'll just say, oh, but pay for me. Why do some women feel entitled to a man's money? Why? What sort of culture is this? Is this the case of, well, he's the only man? As if you are not working, or as if, just as Ohiri said, the habilitation of his pocket power is in your hand. Like, I do not get this whole thing. What do you think is going on here?
Well, do you blame us? We live in a man's world, you know? We live in a man's world. And I think, in a way, they caused it, I would say that, because, well, naturally, women are receivers. You know, that's the natural force of life. We cannot change that. women are meant to receive and nurture and make something grow. So with that natural instinct and also our environmental instinct, where men oftentimes feel that providing is by giving money, quote unquote, so when you go out, they are always trying to pay, or in the society, they're always trying to be at the head or at the lead when it comes to any sort of financial obligation.
Right.
And even, for example, I mean, Kumasi, Ashanti region, if a problem happens in a family, it's the man that is called. So because of that, and first of all, nobody likes to pay. So if there's a group of people who like to always take that responsibility, then well, we'll let you take it up every time, because nobody really likes to pay. So I think it comes from all these combination of how our society is, the natural forces of life, and also how our community is. So it kind of makes us feel when we go out, then whoever that's in the circle, that's a guy or a male person, should take the responsibility.
Right.
Which, of course, isn't so fair. But when it comes to relationship, I think the dynamics should definitely be different.
So you are saying when it comes to a relationship, the guy should definitely provide for his girlfriend?
No.
Okay.
She's a girlfriend. She's not your wife.
Okay.
Stop providing.
Okay, I was just trying to get it right. I didn't get you at the end there.
Unless for me, I believe in whoever that is leading or taking the person out. A lady can also choose to take the boyfriend out. So if I choose to take you out, I think I'm the one who's paying because I initiated the gesture.
Right.
And I want to take you out. Let's go here. Let's go there. So if the guy also does that, then of course he's paying.
Great.
We can also say today we want to split. Then we split the bill. I mean, if you can pay for your food, I don't think you should be in a relationship.
Or you should even go out in the first place.
This is just my personal belief.
Right.
If you can't pay for yourself or you can't feed yourself, you don't have to be in a relationship.
Exactly. I completely agree because my mother told me that before you can be in a relationship, make sure that you can take care of your whole self before you enter a relationship. Because that would mean you depending on somebody else to take care of you completely. I remember when the story came out, someone said, I asked who should pay, and then the person said, the person that decided that we should leave the soup and the stew at home and go and eat outside is the one that should pay. But Jennifer, I mean, honestly, all jokes aside, do you agree with Jemima when she says, oh, men are providers and so they feel like they have to pay? And is this the reason why you think some girls feel like they're entitled to a guy's money?
Yeah, I agree with Jemima, especially with society. Society and the patriarchy has made it that way, that men are the leaders, men are the head of the home, men are supposed to do things. Like we've been put in boxes based on our gender. But before I even go further, Hine said something I think I wanted to counterattack him.
Do.
Because he said that women usually are influenced by their friends as to who they date, and men, it's also the same for men. Let's not even make it a gender thing. Men are equally influenced by their friends as to who they date, and if a girl should come like, oh, this is my woman and she's not to their standard or whatever.
Expectation.
Listen, let's not do that. But yeah, I agree. It's like you're a guy. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. But like you said, if you invite someone out, you should be willing to foot it. And when Ohene said that, you should also look, your pocket should determine. If I invite a friend out, a male friend out, I'll decide where we'll go. KFC with 50 Ghana, both of us will be very full. Right. I'll probably have changed and get myself a cab back home. Yeah. Right? So you don't have to go somewhere fancy or like go overboard. But when you decide to as well, you should be ready and willing to pay based on who said we should go out. So the boyfriend, girlfriend, like the boyfriend providing for the girlfriend, it depends on the dynamic of the relationship. So many relationships are different. Maybe with you and your boyfriend, everybody goes 50-50, which is fine. But then some are 80-20, 60-40, and as long as there's an understanding, then it works. Yeah.
Would you consider him not a gentleman if he doesn't pay?
When both of us go out or with my friends?
With your friends.
My friends are not coming. Sorry. They are not coming
at all.
Especially no when it's a date. No, they are not coming.
Yeah.
But if they should come, if he said they should come, then I mean.
What if it's a regular hangout?
If it's a regular hangout, everybody should pay for their meal. Honestly, everybody should pay for their meal.
Okay.
Like, if I am privileged that my boyfriend wants to pay for me, that's great. Like he says, you know what, we're all hanging out, I had a good time. You know, sometimes guys are like, I had a great time. Let me just pay for everybody because I'm feeling good. Right. And I'll worry about it tomorrow. But for now, I want to pay for everybody. Yeah. That's also totally fine. But everybody, you should be happy at the end of the day. You should be happy with the decision you took. You shouldn't. Your arm shouldn't have been twisted. You shouldn't have been made to feel bad because somebody's going to say, I'm not a gentleman. You, the woman that you're saying that, are you a gentlewoman?
Are you a gentlewoman?
Are you a gentleman for demanding this thing? No, so, right. No, let's not do that.
I mean, Grace Love, Jennifer said something that brought my mind to this thing. Where is the greed from? Immediately someone says, I'm taking care of the bill or I will be paying. People end up choosing ridiculous amounts of food on the menu. Like on a regular, she'll probably just go for fried rice or jollof rice or some beef sauce, whatever. But immediately they say, oh, I'm taking care. Please, I want the seafood platter with this lamb chops and what is the name? Mashed potato and all the ridiculous things. Do you think it's greed? Because if you were taking care of the bill, you would go for the jollof rice and the chicken.
Quarter size chicken.
And then one cup of whatever drink you're going for. Why do you think women behave like that, or some women behave like that?
I mean, it's not even just women. I think it's human
people
beings
in general.
Yeah, because I mean, the Bible said it best. I guess that the heart of a man is desperately wicked. Like, you know, there's no coming back from that. And I think the Bible has answered its own question, because in as much as we can try to be as kind, even me, if somebody says they're going to foot the bill, all of a sudden I'm going to remember the things that I don't want and the things that I want. And I just think it's an innate something, which is something that we would have to work on to not, you know, practice. But it's just human nature, and I think that's the only answer I can give to that. Okay,
Grace Love thinks it's human nature. I'd like to take some comment before I go for my break. This one is from Kofi Bright. He says, you didn't invite them, so why should you be the one paying for their order? So what were they doing at the restaurant when they knew they didn't have money to pay for their order? My brother, this your girlfriend won't help you in your life. Rose Aya says, but at least the girlfriend should have told him before inviting them. Ladies should learn to be simple and open in their relationships. Maybe the guy wanted to share some sensitive information with her alone, and the lady destroyed such a lovely moment. It may have been the guy's wish to be with the girlfriend alone. It was his wish. I think we should know how to communicate effectively, but in all, if the guy had enough money on him, he should have paid for all of them and later talk to his girlfriend. For all you know, the guy did that because he didn't have enough on him. Abi, we know how ladies behave. To me, he did the right thing at the wrong time. Okay. Let's see. William Richie says, oh my guy, in fact, send me your Momo number so I reward you. You did very well. At times, some ladies just ignore the concept of manners. It's only Mumu guys who will pay. As for the girlfriend, she has nothing good for you. It's better to eliminate her. If not, you can't mold one block for a building. Okay. There's an ecstasy. Akosia Mensa says, I don't see anything wrong with what the guy did. I think the lady is acting so immaturely. I mean, how? Okay, let's see. So Lord Kusi Buedum Samuel says, the brotherhood is very proud of you, bro. Well done. David Kras says, your girlfriend should go to hell. Hey. A true lady seeking for her guy to marry her proves herself worthy in every aspect of life during the relationship. She shows sense of financial management, advice, support, etc. Her and her friends' attitude speaks it all, that they are slay queens in angel form. I wish I were like you. Like, she regrets picking loggerheads with me, something I'm good at. Like, she regrets doing that. David, you like fight.
Yes, you like
fighting. Come down so like, what is this? Why are you going to quarrel with her for when you talk to her? Anyway, you can also send me your comments on our Facebook page and YouTube page, Hope TV Ghana, and I'll make sure I read them just as I did, we have to go for a quick break, a very quick one. When we come back, we'll look at if indeed he did anything wrong. Where do you think he went wrong? Because somebody said that he did the right thing but at the wrong time. Do you think the timing was bad? Do you think he should have paid and told them that don't do this again? Do you think leaving them there was embarrassing? And also, must he apologize? And should the girlfriend be upset with him rather? What about her friends intruding on their private moments? We'll be right back. This is Real Talk. Do not go anywhere.
Is my story and the story of women everywhere.
Your ability to be prepared and then an opportunity that will come your way.
It has to do with determination and being focused. No matter what it is or no matter what happens along the way, you will still remain focused.
You must not compare your life with things you see in the movies.
It is the story of women taking control of their own destiny. Women of courage, passion, persistence, innovation, compassion, and determination.
When you look at the word wife, W means wisdom. So when you're about warrior, you have to be very wise.
Superwoman. It's about those who dare to break barriers. We rise, we fall. But what's important is that we find our inner strength and stand tall. Women, know your value, wear your crown, write your own story. We believe there's no limit to what you accomplish. Watch Superwomen on this station as women empower other women.
Welcome back from that quick break. We are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana on your favorite show, Real Talk. I am in the studio with Jemima, joining me virtually. I am in the studio with Jennifer. Joining me virtually is Jemima, Grace Lab, and Doheny. Before we went on the break, we are still talking about our story that came to us today. A gentleman went out with his girlfriend. His girlfriend's friends came by. They sat down, they ate, they ordered whatever. It was time to pay for the bill. He paid for himself and his girlfriend and asked the ladies to pay for themselves. And they said, oh, they didn't have money. And he said, I don't have money to pay for you guys. So he did not pay. And the girls had to sort themselves out by going through their mobile money to see if they had some coins in there to take care of the bill. Now his girlfriend is upset with him because she feels he embarrassed her in front of her friends. And so she's not talking to him. He wants to know if he did anything wrong. He didn't have to pay, or do you think he had to pay? You can send your comments and join the conversation live with us on Hope TV, Facebook, and Hope TV YouTube, and you be part of the conversation. So I just want to come to you, Ohini, very quickly and ask, if you were the guy and you had money on you, enough to cater for the four of you, would you have?
For purposes of showing off, probably I would have done that. Just to show off. But then that would be the last time I would that because I will stand up to her and let her know what she did wasn't very acceptable.
Right. Jennifer, do you think you should have paid if you had enough?
Now I was saying for the sake of peace, Jemima said there's no war. But I think when you care about someone, in that moment, you don't want to embarrass the person, you don't want to cause any kind of friction or tension, so you would. But then, like Ohene said, you let it be clear that this is the last time this is ever happening. But also, if you knew that you weren't going to go on with this person, you won't pay for her and her friends.
You pay for your girlfriend and her friend.
Because the relationship is over.
Oh, so you end the relationship with the girl?
Yes.
You would say that, oh, Charlie is over. This
yes,
is
it was a hangout. It wasn't even a date anymore. So.
It wasn't it. Okay, the friends came, so now it was a hangout.
So yes, we're hanging out.
Okay, so Jennifer says she will leave you quick.
I'll leave all of
This
you.
is one they call flee from temptation. Jemima, do you think he should have paid if he had enough on him, or just by principle, I did not invite you, so I don't pay your food?
You do not pay by principle. You do not pay. You keep paying, the next girl will do that. You don't pay and you dump her.
Oh my God, you don't pay and you dump her, so you don't pay and you leave her.
You see, these things are principles, and I think relationship is building up to marriage. If you hold on to this principle, it will definitely sit through there. So you need to do certain things you don't want to experience in your marriage. It's a principle. Even if you have enough money, do not pay. Okay. Because in as much as she thinks she was embarrassed, what about him? What if you really do not have enough money? You've also embarrassed the guy. Why do you have to do that? Like, why? That's very intentional. And you don't pay for intentional drama.
You don't pay for intentional what? Drama.
Intentional drama.
Okay. Grace Love, do you agree? Do you think he should have paid, or you think he shouldn't have paid if he had enough on him?
I think he should not have paid because, like Jemima said, principle is principle. There's a really thin line between giving somebody the okay. She might take that as an okay, even though you go talk to her about it later on. So just right off the bat, you letting them know. And I think it also is a testament to, you know, the girl aside, it's your principles, you know. I did not invite you. It's no longer even about the girl anymore. It's beyond her, and it's about you and what you feel like you have to do, and setting things straight to the friends. Because what if the friends take it as, oh, we can come here again, and then the next time, you know, maybe he goes to tell the girlfriend back door, and the girlfriend now cannot tell the friends no. It's a whole, just don't pay for it. Keep your money in your pocket.
Keep your money and spend it on something else. Buy yourself another drink and leave them sitting there. But I'll come back to you, Ohene, and I'll ask, did he do anything wrong? Should he apologize? And does the girlfriend even have a right to be upset at him for embarrassing her?
No. Let me try to speak to the issues the other ladies just raised.
All right.
You see, you don't make your girlfriend, people you work with, your colleagues at work, your clients, customers, you don't make them aware of policies, principles when you're using it against them. So if you've spoken on it previously, then she's probably in the known that this is a no-go area at all. But if you've never spoken about it and you're positioned to pay for the sake of peace, like the other lady said, there was no war. But you see, the tiny bits of things we do in relationships, they make it grow. Relationships need that kind of things sometimes. So if you've never spoken about it before, then if you're positioned to, you have to pay. Then, you see, the people who came were her friends. So if there's anyone who is better positioned to advise them to stop intruding on someone's outing, your girlfriend is the best person to do that. Right. So I believe if you're positioned to, you have to pay for it, then you let her know. You never cross this line again. Now, about apologizing, you apologize when you do something wrong. Insisting on what you know is right. Probably nobody knew the amount of money the guy came with. So at the end of the day, if you want to intrude on my privacy and I prevent you from doing it, and you are uncomfortable, you don't have to apologize because you didn't do anything wrong. So you shouldn't apologize.
Okay.
And you see, females now are fighting for equality. It's nice. But then if you really want equality in relationships, you should be willing and ready to fend for yourself. Now we're talking about yourself. It's your friends. So you bring it into the equation and you are taking everything overboard. So the guy didn't do anything wrong and you shouldn't apologize for any reason.
And the girl has no right to be upset with him.
No. Yes, he has a right to be upset. You see, it's an emotion.
Okay.
And we are all entitled to our opinions, no matter how ridiculous they are.
Right.
So as she invited, you see, behind the doors, we don't know the kind of things she has told her friends about the boyfriend.
Okay.
So probably she's inviting them to come and have an experience because of what
she
she
has
has
been
said.
experienced.
What an experience.
Oh, probably she goes around telling them, my guy earns 15,000 a month. He can take me to go to live for breakfast and Shangri-La for lunch and whatever. So now that's formal lunch and he's paying some few hundreds of cedis and he's not willing to pay. He has every right to be upset, but assuming that because of what the guy has done, I'm not going to talk to him again, is rather on the lower side. That one is very unacceptable.
Okay. Jennifer, did he do anything wrong? Must he apologize? And do you think the girl has any rights to be upset at him and not her friends?
Yeah, I think he should apologize.
Okay.
He should look in the mirror and apologize to himself for dating somebody.
Very good. Very, very good.
That's the only apology. That's it. No, he doesn't have to apologize to her.
Okay.
If anything at all, she should apologize to him for the kind of friends she has, for encouraging such behavior around him. And now he has a certain perception about her and the kind of mindset that she has. So she doesn't have a right to be, like Ohene said, she can be upset. It's a personal emotion.
Okay.
You can be upset. But then to say you wouldn't talk to him again, I think within 1 to 3 working business days, he should find himself a new girlfriend.
Okay.
This is not a serious girl.
Okay, this is also a serious girl. Jemima, do you agree or you think he should apologize?
No. And exactly what Jenny said, you should look in the mirror and apologize to him. No, it's so good, great. He shouldn't.
Okay, Grace Love.
Yes. I do not think he should apologize. I agree with the mirror story. He should and give himself a pat on the back because not everybody can do that. So definitely do not apologize. That will just just don't apologize.
Okay, so Jennifer, what do you think he should do? Because he's trying to talk to the lady, she's not picking his call, she's upset, you've embarrassed me, and I'm sure she's like, if he doesn't apologize, I won't talk to him again. What should this guy do?
Okay, well, now it depends on whether he wants the relationship or not. Now it's moved beyond the food or whatever.
Right.
So does he want the relationship? He should sit down and critically think about it. This is, I don't know how, it didn't state how long they've been dating, how well they know each other.
Right.
We're just basing off everything on one instance. So he needs to check and see, does he want the relationship? Maybe this is one flaw she had. Can he look past it? Does he think that if he's eventually able to get through to her, she would understand and they can move on? If that, then you can go to a house and be like, you know what, maybe that day I was really broke and I was embarrassed. Say something. Send them food. Food always works, guys. Food always works. Send food, go and do what you have to do. But if you don't want a relationship, right now you should be talking to somebody by this time. Basically, that's it.
Okay, Jemima.
Yeah. I think exactly he should really analyze the relationship if he really wants the girl back. But I'm surprised she's the one not actually talking to him. But either way,
can you imagine?
So he should really think about it. And I think it's very deep what she did actually. You know, we can just say, oh, she did that, but it means a lot. Do you still want to be with this the rest of your life? Well, we cannot decide for him. If he really loves her, and as Jenny said, probably this is just one side. She's very good, she's calm, she's whatever. Then I guess he really has to, you know, search down into his soul. If he really likes her and wants her back, and then he should just talk to her that she also hurt his feelings. And what she did really affected him.
Exactly.
So, and I guess tell her about his intent, then they can move on. But if it was really my brother that I'm advising, no, please leave her and let's find you another lady. Because personally, I do not understand why an intimate relationship, a date, should end up as a social gathering. I don't.
As
And
like a
that's your
crusade.
girlfriend?
Winning souls
No,
for
I don't think
Christ.
she sees him as a boyfriend. He thinks she's the girlfriend, but I don't think she thinks he's her boyfriend. Like no lady in love with a guy would do that. Period. Like
Right.
nobody would do that. If
Right.
I really like you, no.
Yeah, because usually when we really like you, we want
He
to
should
protect
think
the
about
money.
it. If he wants, then sure. If not, then I guess he can move on. Oh my network.
All right. Grace Love, what should he
Yeah.
do?
I think there's a conversation that has to be had because this is very deep. That she's the one not doing the talking. So would it mean that they can't have mature conversations over disagreements? Would he have to be the one always doing the comeback even when he's not at fault? Yes, maybe. You know, there's a lot of questions to be answered first introspectively, and then have a conversation with her because this is somebody you're going to be living with the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So would you be able to entertain these? You know, you can't cross this one boundary. What's the guarantee a bigger hurdle can be crossed? You know. So I think that there's definitely a conversation that has to be had with himself, and then the lady, and then with God too, and then make a decision.
Right. Ohene, what should he do? Oh, Ohene's internet.
Yes.
Which bird is sitting on Ohene's line that keeps interfering?
Hello, I'm back.
Yay, he's back. What should the guy do?
A relationship is friendship with a touch of romance.
Hey.
So now,
All right.
when the friendship exists,
Right.
if there were something like friendship, this issue could easily have been resolved. Now, if the lady wants out because of this issue, then there was nothing like friendship. The relationship never even existed.
Right.
Probably someone wanted to take undue advantage over the other because I'm a female. You see, unfortunately, we tend to forget so many things. Now, we are in this world and everybody's talking about equality. But social scientists say something like benevolent sexism. Is the notion that women are supposed to be adored and cherished, and they need men's protection. Now, this one reinforces the stereotypes that women are fragile and they need men's help. Now, we're talking about a situation where somebody is going out of his way to make you comfortable. You are bringing your friend into the picture, and you are the one who is angry now. So, how do we balance it? It cannot really be balanced. It's supposed to be a relationship, okay?
Right.
It's not a master-servant kind of thing. So there should be friendship with a touch of romance. So you don't just take natural decisions because you assume I did something you didn't like. That is very unfair.
Right.
So I think, like has been said already, the lady should avail herself for a conversation, a frank, honest conversation between two matured minds. If she's not willing to agree to such an agreement, then I think the guy should better look for some other people. You see, now that he's trying to hang out with somebody who doesn't want to hang out with him, there are probably hundreds of other women out there who are willing and ready with open arms to welcome him. So you shouldn't just become a woozy and go after a door that has been shut in his face.
Right. Do not become a woozy and go after a door that has been shut in your face. I'm taking some comments before we go. This is from Clement Mensah Damwa. He says, habilitative, pocketive power. That is it. If you don't have the money, don't go and impress anyone. Sa Bank of Ghana, Jumano, Yejai. You know, the small charity work boys they do. You pay the bill and walk home. Kofi A. Hellman says, supporting the needy and hungry is a core moral ethic. It's a core moral ethic. So now the girls are what? Hungry and needy. Okay. Kojo Champon says, great show, keep it up. She was able to invite her friends due to how the relationship started and perhaps the guy's posture of cashman. However, the guy did really well by not paying. Okay. Toka says, the guy is very mean. Once he knew he wasn't going to pay the bill for their foods, he should have informed them when they arrived. But to wait for them to eat and tell the waiter to separate it in some way. Okay. Let me see. Mensa Emmanuel says, I'll pay if I know them, but if I don't know them, I will not pay. Matthias Napa says, bad to invite your friends on a date without informing your man. Depending on the culture in Africa, the man is expected to foot bills. Other countries, Asia, Europe, American cultures don't do so unless you decide to take care of everything. I'll choose to pay if I have money, and that's their manners and choices denotes that they are being considerate and not just from the num ne bottom angel. Num ne bottom angle. The lady did not even see the need to be remorseful and apologize for inviting her friends over for a date with your man. That relationship, I am not sure, will survive. It is limping. And then he goes on to say, I hope they didn't ask him to pay for their Trotsky back home.
Uber, you mean?
Eric, so at this point, I don't think they picked Uber. They've used all their momo to pay their food. Eric Soa says, yes, I agree with the lady from Kumasi. Jemima, someone agrees with you. He says her comment is very clear. Why should the girl inform her friends in the first place? Do they know the amount the guy is having on him? They should pay for their own food. Right. There's this one from Tasha. Tasha says, my dear, you did nothing wrong. You render apologies only if you did wrong and are remorseful, and not when you want to diffuse a confrontation or bring peace. So please don't give one. For a couple, your lady should be the one rendering an apology for inviting her friends to your dinner table without prior notice. It would have been your responsibility if you invited them out. But since this was not the case, bro, you did right. Word of advice, in a serious relationship as yours, finances should be discussed. That way both partners know what is at hand. Thank you guys so much for sending in your comments before. You know, that's one thing they say. They say that when you're at dinner, put your phone away. If your phone was in your bag, these friends cannot reach you when they're trying to call you. And you'd have had your peaceful dinner. I'm sure you kept it there because you knew you were coming in. You were waiting for them to call you. Manners, put your phones away when you're having dinner. Talk to the person. Whoever is not invited, obviously, is not supposed to be there. Anyway, greetings from abroad time. I'm starting with my abroad people. Jennifer, you are crying here with me. So, Grace Love, greetings from abroad. Real talk version. Who are you saying hi to?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I have my list. So okay. I want to first say, give a shout out to my family, back home. And my church family, both Dancerman SDA Church and Amazing Grace SDA Church. My friends from SBS, my friends from Kerber Girls, and my very good friend Stephas. And yeah, my church family here, my family here, and my friends from UWG nursing program here. And everybody who knows me, shout out.
Oh my God, she came prepared. She
had a list.
Oh, please, before our time runs out, quickly tell our audience, the people you want to say hi to. They're probably listening to you.
My wife, Doreen. Doreen Jumo, my wife. My church members in Konongo, Redemption Church, Hope Church, Valley View Institutional Church, Adventist Smart Women, Adventist Phenomenal Youth members. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Jemima, the Kumasi people.
Yes. Kumarican.
Yes.
Shout out to my friends, my family, actually, my daddy, my sister. And also Damoa. I heard Damoa made a comment. Shout out to I, to Esther Coca, Pastor from Bowman, so to Kutin Boatse, and also to my church family, Penal Seventh-day Adventist Church. And shout out to Charles Ajete, my dear friend. So thank you all for watching the show.
Okay, great. Jennifer.
Yes.
Shout out
to my fan club. The
generators.
I'm so kidding, but yes, I'm saying hi to my friends who are tuned in, to Cece, to my family, my mom, my sister, my brother-in-law, my dad. Yeah, everybody I told I was coming on who's watching.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Today it looks like all my guests came with their list prepared, written down, in notes in their phones. Guys, thank you so much for coming. I am so grateful for having you, Jennifer, making it all the way to be in the studio with me, just so I don't look like I'm talking to myself. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And also Jemima, Grace, Love, Ohene. You guys took the time. You joined me via Zoom. We had a great conversation. All of you had very strong opinions on the discussion. I'm sure the boy feels very, like, his action is reinforced. It's like, this is what we are talking about. But thank you guys so much for taking time and coming on the show. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. God bless you. And for the guys at home, my amazing audience, always tuning in every Wednesday to watch Real Talk. I am so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your lives, and I hope that the good Lord continues to bless us and gives us long life to continue to enjoy amazing content on Hope TV. To my amazing crew, thank you so much. To my camera guy, to my lights guy, to my producer, every single person, thank you so much for the amazing work you're doing. God richly bless you. We'll come your way same time next week on Hope TV with yet another exciting story. Remember, you can also send your story to us via our email address or WhatsApp number. Real Talk is all about real life people, real life stories, real life experiences. Share them with us. Let us have the great panelists to have the conversation, help you out, and hopefully we will all be educated. Thank you so much. My name is always Evie, and I'll come your way same time next week. Enjoy the rest of the day.